fellow Brick fans, DJ Bricks here, back for another review. And before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you are actually notified of when I upload new content if you'd like to see it. And getting into today's review, I have a Lego Marvel Avengers 2021 set. It is the Thor Mech armor. It is set number 76169. It's recommended for building ages 7 and up. It has 139 pieces and it retails in the US for $10. It has one minifigure, and let's get into unpacking this Mech set to see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. Taking a look at the only minifigure included in the set, it is Thor in a slightly new variant. He does come with the hammer piece that was introduced in 2012 for Mjolnir there, which we haven't seen that for a while. And his torso and legs are nothing new. They are reused from the 2020 Avengers Gamerverse figure, and you can see the back torso printing there. But it is completely reused from that figure. And the only new thing about him is this helmet here, which is the Ragnarok helmet that we got for those sets. But here it is molded in a bright silver to kind of be like his helmet from the comics. And then taking that off, we can take a look at his face, and it is the exact same Thor face we've been getting since those Ragnarok sets for Chris Hemsworth. And then there's his alternate side of his head, which shows him being surging with electricity, and that's what that face looks like with the helmet back on. But that does it looking at this Thor figure again. Slight disappointment, but moving on to the actual build of the set. Look at the actual build of the set. It is similar to the mechs we have gotten previously, just decked out for Thor. Just taking a quick spin around, you can see that there are some substantial differences color-wise. They're trying to emulate his basic costume within the Marvel movies, mixed with a little bit of the comics, with the dark blue arm pieces in there and the legs. You get a nice shaping down here at the knees where it's kind of built up, but you do actually have a nice thick knee for posing and weight. And then he gets flat feet down here. This side has a clip to store Mjolnir when you have him in the mech, which is nice. Looking at the hands here, they're pretty standard. They do have a technical to fit Mjolnir in, so you cannot lose that if you want him holding onto it. And going up here towards the cockpit, it is the similar design to all the other ones. You do have a couple bow pieces here, and on either side of that is a sticker. And that's on both sides. You get a nice little shaping here. You get the front cockpit here with a pentagon piece, and that is printed. It's the only printed part in the set. Taking a look at the shoulders, you get kind of like his shoulder clasp for his cape here. And taking a spin to the back here, you get a couple of these flap pieces here to presumably represent his the back of his cape here, which kind of looks nice and kind of emulates it. You can move them up and down if you want to simulate a flap there. And taking the hammer out of his hand really quick, you can take a look at that. It's got a Technic pin to connect to the arm in there, and it's got a whole bunch of stickers on here. That's a sticker, and then on each of these blue pieces is meant to be a sticker, and it's the exact same on all four sides. It's trans blue to represent this being charged up with lightning, which is nice. They do use a lot of simple pieces, but I do think it is effective. So putting Thor into this set here, you just clip his hammer onto the side here, which I always love Lego doing. I love whenever they put a clip for an accessory so kids don't lose it. But I will note that the chest armor on this one doesn't come out far enough, just because of how it's built and how the pentagram is. But you just have one of those pieces introduced in the friends line to just hold on to his feet there, and you can shut it up. And that's what Thor looks like in his mech. So let's take a closer look at the articulation of this thing. Articulation, I already showed that you can move the back pieces of cape up and down if you want, but shoulder goes back that far, goes forward that far, and can go up and down. You do get a little ball joint at the top of the shoulder here, which can go forward that far because it's got a piece going in there at the wrist joint. You also have a nice range of motion there, and then each of the four fingers are articulated. Same on this side, except for you can get the fingers to hold on to Mjolnir like that. Torso, you get the standard Marvel mech side to side there, because they use that hinge plate piece to kind of create like a limit, a buffer to how far you can spin that. And again, I don't like how this isn't covered up as well as the one on the mile set. You can split it out that far. You can get a nice forward and back there. Back that much, forward that much to kick. You get knee articulation, which most big mechs don't come with, but you can get it all the way back there to kick his own in. And a nice range of motion there. Nice range of motion at the ankle. Lots of forward, a little bit back, and a little side to side, but not much. But you can get this thing in some nice poses here, like preparing for battle. You can get him holding Mjolnir in both hands if you want. You can get this guy in a lot of nice poses, which is a very good thing with me. It really increases a play. I will note that the leg and joints tend to pop off if you're a little too rough with it, so maybe that's something to watch out for. But all in all, I do think that this is a nice mech representation for Thor here. But that does it looking at the actual set. So let's move on to extra pieces and the box and the instructions, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. Pieces of the set are very minute. You can see all of them here. The stud, Technic, a couple 1x1 plates, but that does it for the extra pieces. A small little instruction booklet for the Thor mech. As you can see in the front cover, you have that QR code that you can scan in the app, and there's a little blurb about it. And this side features 59 pages of building there. And then on these two pages, you can see a cross-sell for the 2021 mechs there, as well as the Spider-Man sets for the winter 2021, as well as the Spider Layer, which doesn't come out until March here in the US. And then the back two pages are all the parts list if you need it. And then the back of the instructions features the pirate for the win there. And that does it for the instructions. The box, it's the standard Avengers style packaging we started to get last year, with the Avengers logo up there. The minifigure call out down there with the Avengers logo. Very nice product shot of the Thor mech in action. Specs on the side. Top of the box features Thor displaying the actual size. Back of the box here. Back of the box shows the mech in a different pose, just showing off the posability. And then this side of the box just shows that basic Avengers Marvel cartoon that's on all the Avengers packaging. But that does it for the box. So going over my final thoughts for the set, I like the general build of it. It's very complex, a little bit more involved than the previous mechs in this line. A lot of nice little part usages to make it very faithful to how Thor is. Again, it has a nice storage for the minifigure weapon, which I always like to see, and little consistent with the rest of this line. It's very fragile. You don't want to be too rough with it, otherwise ball joints will pop out, but they can pop right back in, so it's not that big of a deal. Minifigure wise, I really don't like the reuse of the torso there. I know a few of the other mechs just reused figures, but that feels like especially lame because he's got this new helmet, so I would expect a new torso print, but very meh. So no QC issues. And getting into the price of $10 here in the US, it's very much worth it if your kid is a big fan of Thor. If you're a fan of Thor in general, if you like this mech armor line, I think it's a worthy addition to it. It just has a few drawbacks, so all in all, I think that it is worth full price, and it is definitely worth a solid 8 out of 10 for me. And that does it for the review. And comment below what your own thoughts of this set are. I always look forward to having a discussion with you in the comments. And that does it for this review. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep building.